you're a road racing guy. When you look at Chicago, what do you think of when you look at that course and how they're laying it out and expectations?
Yeah, as far as from an event standpoint, I've always loved street course racing. It's the same reason why the LA Coliseum has been such a great addition to the schedule. Just it's bringing the party to the people, and the atmosphere around the street course race is pretty hard to describe. Think about wherever you live, and there's now race cars driving past where you live. So I think it's cool that we're doing it. I think it's a long time coming, honestly. I've driven a lot of street courses, really love the kind of aggression and risk involved at those types of racetracks. As far as the layout, from everything that I understand, pretty condensed onto what NASCAR was allowed to do. So from that standpoint, the meetings that we've had, talked about, and the questions that we've asked, like to maximize the space that they had. So from that standpoint, I think there's plenty of wide sections of racetrack that we can utilize and pass and still be able to have the normal racing that NASCAR fans expect us to have.
And some of the drivers have said they feel like it's going to be quote-unquote survival. Right? Like there's not a lot of room. When something happens, you're going to hit a wall, and then you're probably going to come back and hit traffic. Do you get that sense from your experience there, or any time in the simulator, that it's going to be tough to pass and tough to when something happens in front of you, get around it?
Yeah, I certainly think so. I mean, street courses are that way. You rarely watch an IndyCar race and watch a guy drive from the back to the front, on a street course for those reasons. I think not having the stage breaks, gives some opportunity for strategy and being able to separate yourself. And I get it. Thanks. Hey, you go check the save I had on my speed lap. It was good. It was over before it started. Anyway, don't ask me about that.
That was our next question.
Yeah. But I think it's hard to establish track position in street course racing because the options are more limited for sure.
Did you see passing zones on there?
Do I see?
Have you done any simulator work, and have you been able to passing zones where you think it will make passes?
We've done simulator work for it. I think all the manufacturers have kind of gotten their own track layout and whatnot. I think a lot of it lays down to where the bumps are, where the track grip is, with how long the brake zones actually are going to be. There's no straightaways that are like extremely long. The back straightaway there leading to turn 4 is long, but also kind of has a kink in it into a really tight corner. So hard to say at this point, but anytime you're really passing on a street course, it is an out-braking maneuver. It's an overtaking move. It's not just a pass. It's not because I have more grip, I'm faster than you. It's because you're actually able to dive in on the brakes and establish position on the preferred line. What's that? Yeah, it's somewhere in relation to the final corner.
Kind of before on the turn, so is that? It sounds like they want it so that hopefully maybe you're single file and go turn one.
Well, I think the goal, and when you watch every form of racing that races on road courses other than NASCAR, the leader, it's usually a single file restart first of all, but usually the leader establishes somewhere in the last final complex of corners where they accelerate, and then you get natural separation throughout the field. And I think the idea is to not have all of us crammed up into one space on a short, narrow little straightaway heading into turn 1, already half wrecked. So I think getting that separation is the goal, of kind of resume the race and be able to still have restarts, have our normal style of racing, but at the same time being able to not be all on top of each other before we all hit the brakes.
You said a minute ago that you've driven a lot of street courses. Does Chicago remind you of any other layout you've raced?
Reminds me of Houston. I did Houston 1 or 2 years, I think just 1 year in IndyCar. Reminds me a lot of that, really bumpy, a lot of 90-degree corners. But like I said before, I've always loved street course racing. I did that when I was 14 or 15 in F2000. Yeah, a long time ago.
Last road course you were at was